Guess who?
Welcome back to another episode brought to you by Game Glitches. This episode is made to a popular demand on the Cleric class. Well, the Cleric class, from my opinion, is, perfectly built the way it is. As funny as that sounds, but there requires few customizations and few features that you would have to look into. For example, you would have to decide what kind of a Cleric you would want to build. Would you want to build a support class, or would you like to build a DPS class in your face Cleric? Why do I ask that? The two abilities that the Cleric currently starts with, the only ones, three abilities, the only ones that I would maintain is basically the minor healing right here to support your teammates. The other two I would kind of, get rid of because they're not really that important. For example, instead of Divine Light, I would pick up the Battle's Ram. This is quite important for both types of Cleric builds, the Paladin build and basically the support build. Why is this important? Because battering ram, aside from knocking down the target and the targets that are in front of the target that you're charging, also will close the gap between you and the cleric. Between the mob and the cleric. Because why is that important? You are a melee class, if you haven't noticed, the shield and the mace. Therefore, this is quite important to you. The second ability is, it has a decision where a small decision where you have to make it. You're a support or you're a paladin in your face. If you're gonna be a support, I would recommend going with the crushing fist. From a long range, you knock down a target and basically incapacitating it for few turns. This ability is quite remarkable and works on, almost everybody, including bosses. Well, not all bosses, but quite a good chunk of them. So this ability is quite very useful and I would very highly recommend it. Another ability that I would recommend, maybe perhaps starting with if you decide to go up in your face Paladin build, would be Cure Wounds. Cure Wounds depends very heavily on how much strength you have. The more strength you have, the more it heals for. But because if you're going to be going in your face Pally, I am assuming that you are going to put points into strength and constitution. So this ability is quite remarkable. What you should do, what would suffer, I meant to say, is your speed in that case. If you're gonna concentrate on those two altogether, allowing you to have less distance travel, you skip turns a lot more often, less likely to start first, and so on. In continuation to that, as you can see, the stats on the cleric are quite what you would want to keep. The single-handed sword, weapon that you would want to keep, the armor specialist, which would allow you to have saving throws and allow you to wear heavy armor, including covering faster. So if you're gonna go down paladin, you would need, cleric build or either support or defense, you would need to wear heavier armor. Obviously, you would need a shield because again, you need to block those arrows, and you would need to block weapons because you are melee characters. In skills, as you could see, you would keep the Hydra's Fix and Men at Arms. Also, because those two things are important for you to shield in the melee. Personality you keep empty. You don't really need anything else in the other categories, really. Now let's take a look at the talents. Within the talents, the cleric automatically starts with Anaconda. Anaconda increases your damage with a crushing weapon by 10%, and My Precision. With precision, every time you hit or get hit, your gear takes 50% chance of not losing durability. Honestly, these abilities are quite useless. I would definitely remove precision and would go with bully, because if you're gonna go down with those two knockdown abilities, you would really want bully. What does bully do? Bully boosts non-magic attacks against an opponent that are slowed, crippled, or knocked down by 50%, meaning you will hit the crap out of the mob, and if you crit, you would crit for a ton on it. So this ability is quite useful. After that, if you don't like Anaconda, there are plenty of other abilities that you could pick from. Please note that this video will not include Lone Wolf or the Leech because, those are their own type of builds. as a Paladin, you will have two other features, or as a support Cleric, you would have to decide again one more decision to make. You would either want to pick up Thick Skin, which gives you 5 extra base armor for every man-at-arms that you have, which is quite amazing. Or if you would want, you could prefer going with Stench, because if you are a support cleric, you really don't want to draw attention. You just want to use this character to stand back and heal at all costs. So the Stench will decrease everyone attitude towards you by 25, and the melee bonus will find you less attractive in combat. These are really the ones that I've noticed quite important to start with, aside because other characters will have things like my precision and like the scientist, and for the blacksmithing and crafting. But as a support class, those two are the most really significant. These stats you would keep the same unless you are going really towards more of a Paladin build. Then you would take one out of intelligence and dump it into Constitution or Strength, which is again up to your your choice to make. But so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please click like, please click subscribe, please check out my other tutorials and guides on Divinity Original Sin. The next episode will include the guide on the enchanters, and I will cover the enchanters in the entirety. Please check out my forums at ludumnexus.com, again, and that means in Greek game connection. I'm developing the forums for my channel and for the gaming community, so you guys could post, perhaps if you're looking for a gaming buddy or somebody to play with. There's a whole category for these types of things on my forums. As a gamer, I know what other gamers want. So guys, thank you for watching. Please click like, please click subscribe, and I'll see you guys in a next tutorial.